Controversial indeed. So for more, let's go live to our senior U.S. correspondent, Mike Wagenheim. He joins us from the U.S. State Department in Washington. What a day. So much speculation, Mike, about that meeting between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. But it seems the U.S. president's shock proposals seem to be a surprise to many, except those in his inner circle. You were actually there when the announcement was made. Tell us more.
I don't know if it was, you can call it an announcement. It's usually an announcement is sort of structured and it's prepared. This was anything but. You know, we're so used to hearing off-the-cuff remarks from President Trump that when he first said the words, "we'll own it," everybody was kind of looking around at each other, you always have to read between the lines. You always have to decipher the context and the background of what President Trump is saying at any given moment. And I'm not sure in that moment that many of the reporters, if any, kind of grasped what he was getting at that point. It just seemed like one of those things he just says and moves on. And as he kept repeating it for the second time, for the third time, and everybody in the room started to really process that this wasn't just an off-the-cuff remark, that this seemed to be some newfound strategy on his part. I think it started to hit, and obviously it took hold of the press conference and the news cycle going forward here into today. But just a surreal experience listening to this, what we thought was stream of consciousness, but actually, as Trump said afterward, he had vetted it apparently with his inner circle and moved forward on that premise.
As you say, many asking, is he serious? Is this for real? And some suggesting it's all just a negotiation tactic of sorts, sort of come up with something completely off the charts, out of the box, and then it puts pressure on other nations to come up with their own solution for Gaza. Tell us more.
You and I have talked about this multiple times on the Rundown and other I-24 News programming, Benita, about this Trump MO, about his negotiating tactics, where he starts with something absolutely outrageous, knowing, I think in his mind, nobody can get in Trump's mind, but I think he knows these outrageous negotiating platforms will never be the end result, but it's a maximalist position. It requires other people to come to the table, to present counteroffers, it's a way of sending a message that he is dead serious about a particular issue, even if he's not dead serious about what he is offering as a solution at that particular moment. I have a sense that this is one of those matters that he's seeing that there is no way out at this point, that nobody's really offering a solution, that a lot of the talk in the Middle East among the Arab countries, they voice their support for the Palestinian cause, but when push comes to shove, they simply don't put in what's required to come to a solution. I think in the end, this is Trump's way of saying everybody needs to get involved here in trying to find a solution. If not, hey, we're more than happy to make Trump-a-lago there in Gaza City in the long run. It brings people into the conversation. It brings people to the table, but it's certainly sowing a lot of confusion here in the U.S. As we mentioned, even amongst his Republican colleagues. Tom Tillis, a Republican senator and avowed conservative, told reporters yesterday, quote, "I think there are a couple of kinks in that slinky." Very folksy quote, but that pretty much sums it up. There's a few problems with this particular proposal from Trump. Others say no comment. We haven't seen enough of it. Some were more flat out and saying, hey, this isn't the right solution. But again, at least it's bringing people into the conversation where they weren't before.
As you say, opposition politicians calling it offensive, some saying it's insane, dangerous, foolish. The list goes on. Certainly, as you say, the topic is on the table. Senior U.S. correspondent Mike Wagenheim, live from the State Department in Washington. Thank you, Mike.